back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lily, and my channel is a place where I share all of my healthy, vegan, mostly whole food, plant-based recipes with all of you. Today, I'm going to be taking you along with me to show you exactly what I eat throughout the whole day. That way, you can get a little sneak peek into this lifestyle and see just how easy it can be to eat mostly whole food, plant-based. So I hope that you enjoy this video. Let's go ahead and jump into breakfast. So for breakfast, I am feeling like some pancakes. I haven't had pancakes in a while, so I'm actually gonna make some pumpkin pancakes. And I'm gonna start off by making a little buttermilk, so just a little bit of apple cider vinegar and some soy milk, about a cup or so. I know Mo, he wants to go outside bad. Into my mixing bowl. And I have some good old trusty Libby's pumpkin puree, so I'm gonna do about a third cup of this. Good. And I'm just gonna do about a tablespoon of maple syrup in the batter. Some vanilla extract, just about a teaspoon or so. Of course, some pumpkin spice, you already know. It's probably gonna be about a teaspoon also. And just a little bit of salt. I just like to use the palm of my hand to measure that. A tablespoon of baking powder to be warm and fluffy. A teaspoon of baking soda. You could definitely do 1 cup of oat flour, 1 cup of regular flour. I usually do that. I'm just feeling like just oat flour today though. Sometimes when I do this, they stick to the pan though. So I'm really hoping that does not happen today. I'm just gonna throw some of these on here, get them going. I'm gonna make bigger pancakes today. That way I have to do less flipping. And I'm just gonna cook these for about 2 minutes on each side. And while that's happening, I'm actually going to dice up some Honeycrisp apple and throw it in a pan and get these apples nice and cooked down. Maybe with a little bit of maple syrup and some cinnamon just to put on top of the pancakes. All right, it's time to flip my pancakes. Let's hope they do good. Oh yeah, these are big pancakes. Ah! I messed that one up, but it's okay. Ah. There we go. Apples are pretty well cooked down. And I'm just gonna squeeze on a little bit of acid on these. So I wanted some lemon juice, but I don't have any more lemon. So I'm just gonna do a teeny bit of lime juice because I don't want them to taste too sour. Just kind of freshen them up a bit. Turn them off. Yeah, those look good. Gonna pile these on my pancakes. I'm also gonna top these with a little bit of Greek yogurt. I think that's gonna taste really good. And of course, a little bit of maple syrup, and don't judge my jar or my bottle. Yeah, it gets messy. Anyway. And finish it off with a little bit of cinnamon. Okay, and I actually could not finish these pancakes. They were actually really filling. And I guess it was because I made them bigger than usual too. So I really only ate like 1.5 of those pancakes, and I'm just gonna save this for later. So I'm home for lunch, and just real quick, I am gonna heat up some leftovers that I have in the fridge. So I made this pasta last night, and I made a bunch of it. So I'm gonna be warming some of this up, and I'll show you exactly what's in it. It is so delicious, and it smells even better. So let me just get this in a bowl. I'm gonna add just a touch of soy milk just to kind of revive it a little bit and make it a little creamier. I'm just gonna pop it in the microwave for a few minutes. So I did use the Banza brand chickpea pasta to make this dish. Yeah, it's really high in protein and fiber, so I do love this pasta. So basically what I did for the pasta was saute onion and some cherry tomatoes in my pan, and then I added in some garlic and some Italian seasonings, a little salt, and then I deglazed the pan with the pasta water, as well as a couple heaping tablespoons of hummus that I had on hand, and just kind of mixed that together. And then I threw in my frozen broccoli, and then I just continued to simmer it until it became a really nice sauce. And then I just finished it off with some lemon juice and served that over my pasta, and I was good to go. And this stuff is delicious, and it was so easy to make. And I made a big batch of it, and now I have like probably 2 more servings out of that bowl. So total it made like 4 servings. Yum! And I do have some vegan Parmesan on hand, so I'm just gonna add this on top, and it is perfect. And there we go. I'm just gonna go enjoy this on my lunch break. So I'm making tofu fried rice for dinner. Mo wants some, obviously. Hey, Mo, no, you're not getting any. So the first thing I'm gonna do is dice up an onion, some mushroom, and a red bell pepper, and I'm gonna get those sauteed down first. So once you add in the mushrooms, you shouldn't really have to add any more water to your pan because they release a lot of liquid. So just keep stirring until your mushrooms are nice and cooked down. And then I'm gonna add in the tofu. And I always like to use this organic super firm tofu, and I don't have to press it or anything like that. And I'm just gonna crumble it straight in here, kind of like when I make a tofu scramble. So you can really see how much liquid has come out of the mushrooms now. So yeah, it's important not to add any more water, and you can also turn your pan up pretty high on this step just to help get all of that water out. Also going to add in a little bit of minced garlic at this point, or like a tablespoon or so. Going to give this a good stir. And look at all this goodness on the bottom of the pan. So we do want to deglaze the pan once more. And how I'm going to do that is with my frozen vegetables. So these frozen mixed veggies are going to release a lot of water, so that's why I wait to add them in at this point. And I just get a small bag of them, and I use the whole bag. And of course, you can't forget the rice and tofu fried rice. So I either use frozen rice with no oil added, or I use this brand of organic white rice, and it also has no oil added. I find this at Whole Foods and absolutely love it. So I just microwaved it for about a minute, and I'm just going to add it in. It doesn't look like a lot of rice, which it's really not for all of these veggies, but you know how we like to bulk out our veggies, so Plus you have all the tofu in here, so it's really filling for that. Alright, now I'm going to add in all my flavorings, and I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit. So I have some coconut aminos, but you could also use soy sauce or liquid aminos, whatever you like. Probably going to do about 2 or 3 tablespoons. I have some rice vinegar, going to go in with about 2 tablespoons of that. I kind of just do it to taste, to be honest. And for taste, just a little bit of sesame oil. You don't want to go overboard. I'm probably going to do about 2 teaspoons of this. And then, of course, I think you have to have sriracha in fried rice. That's just my opinion, and I like my fried rice a little spicy. So I'm going to do, this is probably 2 tablespoons. We're going to say that. But this is really to taste. And then to balance out the flavors, just a little bit of maple syrup to kind of sweeten it up. About a tablespoon. I'm just going to get all that mixed together really nicely. Okay, and then once it's all mixed, you just want to kind of pat it down, and you want to leave it on about, mine's on like 3/4 of heat right now. So you kind of want to leave it like this for at least like 3 minutes to allow the bottom to get a little crispy, because that's the whole point of fried rice, right? You want it to be a little crispy. So I'm just going to let this sit for a few minutes. Okay, meanwhile, I'm going to whip up a little bit of like a yum yum style sauce. So I'm going to be using some plain unsweetened Greek yogurt, some of this Primal Kitchen spicy ketchup, a little bit of garlic powder, a bit of salt and pepper, and I might add a little bit of soy milk to kind of thin it out, but we'll see how this looks. Here's my yum yum sauce. It's gonna go on top. Alright, and this has been cooking for a few minutes, so now we can kind of see the bottom of this right here and how crispy and brown it is. That is what we're going for. So I like to do about 2 or 3 rotations like that, so we'll just let it cook for another 2 or 3 minutes and get good and brown and crispy on the bottom once again. Oh yeah. I just have some lime juice I'm going to squeeze over the top. I think it tastes really good with a little bit of fresh lime juice. Of course, some of this yum yum sauce. Sesame seeds. And some chopped green onions as well. So this is what I'm having for dinner, and you just got to see how easy it actually was to make. It came together in under 20 minutes, and you can really change it up with whatever veggies you have on hand. So it's a really nice recipe to have in your arsenal. I actually make this all the time, probably like once a week, and Jake even makes it. It's one of the recipes he knows how to make. So anytime I don't feel like cooking, Jake's like, okay, I'll make tofu fried rice. And I'm like, yay, because it's so delicious. So let me give it a taste for you. I don't always make the yum yum sauce to go on top, and whenever I do, I'm like, why don't I always do this? Because it literally makes it so delicious. You have to make it if you make this. Alright, well, I'm going to go enjoy this while I watch a Christmas movie. And I'll probably be back in a little bit because I'm feeling like I want to make some sort of dessert. But I'm not really sure what yet. So stay tuned to find out. Okay, so I'm actually going to be whipping up some pumpkin pie bars, or at least that's what I'm gonna call them. But the base of these bars are gonna be made from chickpeas and a few other things. So I'm just gonna blitz my chickpeas up first. I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna add in a little bit of oat flour. That's 1/3 of a cup. And I'm kind of just winging this. I just want this to be like cookie dough texture in a way. Add in some maple syrup for some good sweetness. 3 tablespoons or so. And then about 1/4 teaspoon of salt or so. A little bit of vanilla extract, why not? And some pumpkin spice. And I'm probably gonna add in another 1/3 cup of that oat flour. Yeah, another 1/3 cup going in. I also really like the texture that PB2 gives in recipes like this, so I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons or so of PB2. All right, I'm gonna give it a little taste. It needs like another tablespoon of maple syrup. It's not quite sweet enough. Kind of tastes like chickpeas mashed up, which is what it is. All right, this should be good. All right, so this is what it looks like. And this is the base of our pumpkin pie bars. So I have my non-stick pan, and I'm just gonna spread out this cookie dough on the bottom. I think I'm gonna do them in my smaller pan. Change of plans. Yeah, I'm gonna do them in this size, like a little bread pan instead. I think that's gonna go much better. All right, I'm just gonna press this dough down as evenly as I can. All right, so that's about what it looks like. My oven's already preheated to 350. I'm gonna throw this in there for about 10 minutes, and then I'll add on the other layers. So into the food processor, go the rest of this can of pumpkin. I'm gonna do about 1/3 cup or so of maple syrup, probably a little less, so more like 1/4 cup. A little bit of vanilla extract. Oh, spilled some. I hate when I spill vanilla extract because it's so expensive. Okay, and then next I'm gonna add in some arrowroot powder. So this is kind of what's gonna bind it together, and hopefully it will have a really nice texture when cooked in the oven. I'm gonna do about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Of course, you guessed it, more pumpkin spice. I would add cinnamon too, but I'm actually out of cinnamon, so just gotta amp up the pumpkin spice. And I also think that adding in some of this Greek yogurt is gonna benefit the texture. So I'm gonna add in some of this. Let's do 1, 2, 3, about 4 tablespoons. You could also use silken tofu because that's what I normally use in my pumpkin pie recipes, but I'm all out right now. All right, so I'm just gonna get this all pureed together. All right, and that looks amazing. So once the crust is finished, then I'll pour this on top and bake it a little longer. So after 5 minutes, I'm gonna pour on the pumpkin pie batter, which I actually just tasted, and it tastes amazing, like so good. Oh my gosh. Can't even describe to you how good. So just gonna pour that in here. I'm just gonna spread it evenly. Oh, it looks heavenly. All right, I'm gonna put this in the oven. I'm gonna bake it for about 30 minutes, I think, and then I'm gonna check on it. Okay, so this next part might be a little crazy, but I have some frozen cranberries, and I'm thinking I'm gonna make a cranberry sauce to go on top. I think that's gonna taste really good, so let's hope so. So I'm just gonna cook down about, that's probably good, maybe like 1.5 cups of cranberries, and these are frozen. So I'm just gonna get these heated up and get the lid on them because they are frozen and need to thaw out first. Okay, so once they are kind of thawed out, I'm just gonna mash them with a potato masher. Okay, so that looks pretty good for now. I'm gonna do a little bit of salt. Cranberries are very tart, so I'm going in with another 1/4 cup of maple syrup to sweeten these up. I was gonna use date sugar, but I didn't want to deal with the texture the date sugar would add. And then I'm also going in with a tablespoon of the arrowroot powder to thicken this cranberry jam up. So I'm just gonna turn it down to low now. Oh yeah, that's thickening it up good. I'm gonna leave that on a very low setting while the pumpkin pie finishes up. All right, so I just pulled it out of the oven and I ended up baking it for 35 minutes. And I hope it is good. So I'm just gonna pour on top this cranberry sauce that I made. Or cranberry jelly is more so what it's like. And I'm actually gonna set this in the freezer to allow it to set. Okay, so it's actually the next day, and those pumpkin pie bars that I made last night, I pulled them out of the freezer after like an hour and they were not set yet, so I just kept them in the freezer overnight and then I put them in the fridge this morning. And I actually flipped them out on the cutting board and then I sliced them while they were still slightly frozen. And I got some really nice cuts out of them. And they actually ended up looking really nice. Like, wow, check out those layers and look at my cat back there on the counter. Hey, who do you think you are? Get down. I'm gonna splash you. The water trick usually works. But anyway, check out these layers of this pumpkin pie bar. Wow, like so beautiful. Let me go ahead and give it a taste for you. Wow. The thick cookie bottom, just like I imagined it would be. It's like a lot of pie crust. Wow. And then the pumpkin pie filling, so good. I love it. And honestly, the cranberry sauce on top really balances this out and gives it a nice little tang, I guess you could say. And it's honestly like Thanksgiving in a bar. It's actually really good. It kind of shocked me, to be honest, because I was kind of concerned about the cranberry jam on top because I thought I put too much arrowroot powder in there and I was kind of concerned about it. But set it in the fridge and it is good to go. Yummy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope that it gives you some food inspiration and really just helps you to understand how simple and easy eating this way can be, but also how fun and creative and most importantly, delicious eating this way is. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye!